Hello, my name is NORABIATUL ADAWIYAH binti Muhammad SHAH S1237. Small-scale fisheries or SSF play a very important role in Malaysia's fisheries economy. This sector not only contributes to food security by providing affordable protein, but also serves as a main source of income and employment for coastal communities. In the state of Terengganu, many fishing households depend heavily on nearshore fishing activity using small boats and traditional methods. However, despite their economic importance, these households face significant challenges. Their income is highly seasonal and uncertain, mainly due to weather conditions, monsoon season, climate change impact, fluctuating fish prices, and increasing operating costs such as fuel and fishing gear maintenance. As a result, many fishing households experience financial vulnerability. Limited financial management combined with high dependence of borrowing and government assistance expose them to bad cycles and financial instability. Although the Malaysian government has introduced various support programs for small-scale fishers, the effectiveness of this initiative depends on how well they match the actual financial need of fishing households. Therefore, this study aims to examine the economic profile and financial management practices of small-scale fisheries households in Terengganu, in order to provide insight for more targeted and sustainable policy intervention.
My name is Muhammad KADIR. Today I want to present about the methodology. This study employs a quantitative approach using a questionnaire as a main research instrument to collect numerical and categorical data on the economic profile and financial management of small-scale fishing households. The study population consisted of active small-scale fishing households, which 300 respondents selected through purposive sampling to ensure relevance to the research objective. Data were collected using the instrument questionnaire covering demographic and fishery characteristics, income source and cost structure, household expenditure, and debt, as well as presentation of a government policy. Participation was voluntary, which informal consists obtained, and all data will keep confident and anonymized. Data analysis involve comparing key factors based on frequency, count, and responses pattern to identify the most influence factor. Although no formal statistics software was used, the analysis was conducted systematically to ensure reliable finding. Thank you.
In this slide, present the demographic and fishing characteristics of the respondent. The majority of respondents are middle-aged male with an average age of 48 years. Most of them live in Parus. A smaller number are from Terengganu. In terms of education, the largest group complete secondary school, making it the most common education background. This is followed by a primary school, while only a smaller number attend college or university, and very few have a non-formal education. Most respondents are involved in traditional fishing activity. Typically, they live with their spouse and have one or two dependents. Overall, this profile shows that the fishing community is dominated by the experienced middle-aged fishermen with a moderate education background.
Main sources of income for this household comes from the sale of fresh fish, with an average annual revenue of about 29,983. In addition to this, many households also rely on wage of salary jobs outside the fishing sector, which contribute around 20,874 per year. However, there is a low level of economic diversification in this community. Most households are not involved in value-add activities such as producing processed fish, making liquor, or running seafood catering business. And As a result, the local economy remains highly dependent on the trade of raw fish, making it more vulnerable to price fluctuation and change in fish case.
For section 3.3, I will present the results on the cost structure of small-scale fisheries household. Based on the survey findings, the average annual fixed cost faced by fishers is about 9,023 ringgit, which includes expenses for both engines, fishing gears, and maintenance. Meanwhile, the average annual operating cost is lower at approximately 2,900 ringgit, mainly for fuel, ice, food during fishing trips, and administrative fees. Overall, fixed costs account for around 76% of total fishing costs, indicating that small-scale fishing activities are capital intensive in nature. This cost structure shows that fishers face significant financial pressure, especially when income is uncertain, such as during the monsoon season. That concludes the result for the cost structure section.
Hello everyone. In this section, I will present the result on household expenditure and debt. Based on the data, the average annual household expenditure is about 4,500 ringgit Malaysia. This spending is mainly influenced by essential needs such as food, utility and transportation. This showed that most household income is used for basic daily living. Meanwhile, the average annual household debt is approximately 2,200 ringgit Malaysia. This means a significant portion of income is spent on debt repayment. From the finding, debt accounts for almost 50% of total household spending, indicating high financial pressure. A high debt ratio also increases the risk of financial stress. In conclusion, proper budgeting and financial planning are important to maintain financial stability. Thank you.
My name is NAJMIE bin ROSLAN. My number matric is S71553. In this section, I will explain the perspective of small-scale fishery households toward government policy that directly affect their cost of living. The finding indicate that the overnight policy rate (OPR) has a direct impact on the cost of living, as some respondents have a clear understanding of the mechanism of monetary policy. Fuel subsidies are the most dominant form of support and help reduce cost burdens. However, the high level of dependency reflects the financial vulnerability of fishermen, particularly if policy changes occur in the future. Furthermore, the level of satisfaction is very low, with only 7% of respondents considering the 10 cents per kilogram incentive to be sufficient. This situation reflects widespread dissatisfaction with existing policy and highlight the challenges faced by small-scale fishery activities. That's all for me.
For discussion, our final integration focus on 4 economic pillars affecting the fishing community. First, we have seen a shift to pluriactivity where fishers are diversifying into land-based work to self-insurance against monsoon. Second, while fishing remains more lucrative than other low-skill jobs, a lack of education creates a labour trap where fishers struggle to leave the industry. Third, we found that subsidies are currently making the true market cost, keeping inefficient operation running. Finally, there is a critical gap in financial literacy with less than 38% understanding the OPR. These households are at high risk of falling into debt cycle when interest rate change.
So we move on to the policy recommendation. So number 1 is smart subsidy reform. Right now, the system is failed because fishermen get more help easier than poor fishermen, because poor fishermen doesn't have a paperwork to get the ads. So our solution is auto enrollment, where the catch data will link the catch data with the property database. So when the fisherman is hardworking but earning less, the system will automatically register for them to get the ads. Also, for small boats, we change the half of their full subsidy into the cash, so they can provide the family a food, not just petrol for their boats. So number 2 is financial safety nets. During the monsoon season, we found out that the income almost dropped to zero, so then almost likely no money like 3 months. So our purpose is MIC and SIM, which is Monsoon Income Safety Net. It's like a saving plan where before the monsoon season, the fishermen get the money back, the profit, so they save, and government also add some money to it. So this money is locked and paid out like a money salary. So the balance the income. So the last one is the information economics, which is we need to stop selling only raw fish. So we build a community hubs, which is women also can use machine to sell high quality frozen product. So for young generation, we provide scholarship and training, because we want them to sell the product or fish on social media like a TikTok shop, so they can cut out the middleman and make some profit.
My name is FATIN HARLYANA binti Muhammad YUSURI, S71350. I will explain about the conclusion. Firstly, small-scale fisheries are not only critical for national food security but also serve as an essential source of livelihood for coastal community in Terengganu. Most of the community consists of middle-aged men with secondary level education. Many of them practice pluriactivity, meaning they supplement their fishing income with wages from outside the fisheries sector to manage seasonal uncertainties and market fluctuation. Despite these resilience, household fish in significant financial challenge. High operational cost, a debt to expenditure ratio of nearly 50% and over 40% for fisheries living below the poverty line indicate the many remain fishery vulnerable. Low financial literacy and outdated subsidy programs further increase the vulnerability, especially since existing in its device of benefit higher income fishers more than the intended low income groups. To address this challenge, structural transformation is needed. Fisheries should move from being purely harvest focused to managing value and generation high returns. This can be supported through targeted subsidies, financial literacy program, income safety nets during the monsoon season, and training for your international and digital skill. Finally, a hybrid approach to combine financial support education and downstream diversification line with the Madani economy framework and the Thrive Malaysia plan can help this community move beyond mere survival to sustainable financial, resilient and inclusive economic development. That's all from me about conclusion. Thank you.